So once you get out of the hospital after having a stroke or something similar, you're going to need to regain your strength. And a great way to do that is to walk. Now, if you try to walk super long distances, you'll find you might get discouraged. In my case, after my stroke, my mom suggested I walk, and so I would call her on the phone every day, and then I would walk in between these two poles in my backyard. So here we are. Actually, they're not poles, they're brick support beams, whatever you want to call them. But for the first few weeks at least, I walked back and forth while talking on the phone between these two poles. I was pretty weak at the time, and it was a great way to start. As time went on, I needed to walk farther, otherwise you get pretty bored. So I moved back into the house and I walked in front of the TV, back and forth. And so as you expand how far you walk, you get stronger and stronger. Eventually you find yourself not just walking blocks, but you're walking miles. Now, while you're walking, if you're legally blind like me, you find things in the road to guide you. So I try to stay in the middle of the sidewalk, and you got to watch out for drop-offs and stuff like that so that you don't trip. Keep your head up to watch for things in the middle of the sidewalk as well. People sometimes leave stuff. Hopefully the weather is good for you to be able to walk. Oklahoma weather gets pretty warm, but for me, since I'm on blood thinners, the heat doesn't really bother me till it gets up in the 90s or above. So when I first started walking, this would be about as far as I'd go and I'd be tired. So I'm gonna try and do this video through the entire route. Give you something to see. I got these little walkways that allow me to not worry about stepping over curbs. So far I haven't had a problem with dogs There was one time there was a house full of dogs that got out, and it was funny, so I had to send them back home. They wanted to come out and play. So this is my 20-minute walk. It just gets me out every day. Make sure that I get some exercise and don't get, to where I'm just sitting at the house all the time, putting on weight and not exercising my legs. Now that my feet and leg are damaged from my stroke, don't know how long I'll be able to film this. Hopefully I'll be able to get through my entire walk, but you never know. Guess if I did it in 4K, it would be a lot shorter. It'd take up the memory card and kick it off. But I'm pretty sure I didn't set it for that. I actually have a head strap for this GoPro, but I don't know if it would look weird, me walking with a camera on my head, so I'm just kind of holding it. They've been doing lots of construction around here, building quickly. Supposed to be nice weather all week. Definitely want to get yourself a good pair of walking shoes if you're going to do this. Because if you have damaged feet like me, it can be painful to walk. So you want good, fresh, clean socks on, and you want good walking shoes. hope you guys are enjoying this walking video. I wasn't sure if it would be something that anybody would want to watch, but I guess if you don't make it, then you'll never know. So I give it to you, and you choose to do with it what you will. But I hope you watch it and it does something for you, get you motivated, because I know how hard it is to get motivated, especially after having a stroke or even other really bad things, diabetes, stuff like that. These guys got some nice plants. So people wonder why, if I'm legally blind, I can still see. Well, truth of the matter is, there are different levels of blindness. I'm told there's like 250 different levels of blindness. And, you know, you go all the way from completely blacked out. Some people have half their eyes blacked out, half of their eye blacked out. In my case, my eyes are extremely blurry, and I have some areas that are partially blacked out, and so I was forced to give up driving. So I didn't have to, I suppose, but it would not be safe if I did drive. So I voluntarily gave up my driver's license, and so now I don't drive. And Now I walk, but you can't walk everywhere, so I am dependent on my girlfriend to get me around, and she's been a real champ for that. Anytime I need something, she takes me unless she's too tired from work. But in order for me to see things like on the computer, I have an app that I can zoom up the screen. Also, I can use my cell phone because it'll magnify up to 10 times. And then I have readers that'll magnify 3 times, so there's 13 times. But to hold my phone up and read stuff is a real pain in the butt. And using the Zoom program's okay, but while I'm zoomed up, can't do anything. All it does is let me see things better. I have to zoom it back down, so sometimes, you have to kind of see where an item is at, zoom it back down, and then hope that you hit the right spot. They also make digital magnifiers, but they're really expensive. For a small one, it can be $1,000. Full size ones, like 8.5 by 11, they're $2,000. You can buy cheaper ones, but I bought a cheaper one and it didn't really work for me. So I just been kind of winging it. When I first started walking, I was all hunched over, and my girlfriend, she would razz me about it, and I didn't even realize it. But over time, I got stronger, so I'm able to stand up straight and walk. Only problem I have now is since both my feet are damaged, sometimes I have a hard time keeping balance. But if I'm the only one on the sidewalk, I have lots of space to do my walking. So we're just about to make it to the last street. This is a new house. This guy did a good job putting in plants. Another thing I'm walking is whenever I walk long distances, they're on my 4-mile walk. It's 2 miles each way to go to 7-Eleven. I have to cross a major street, and there is a traffic light there, and it does have the walk, don't walk button. But if you are suffering from partial blindness, you need to be aware that people don't really pay attention to red light, green light, and you need to watch the vehicles and make sure that they don't run you over, because they don't care. So, something to know. Luckily today has a little bit of a wind, so it's cool enough to film this today. When I was first walking the 20-minute walk one time, I got lost in this neighborhood, and in the midst of it all, my daughter calls me up, asked me what I was doing, and I said, "Oh, I'm taking a walk." And I said, "But I'm lost." So she stayed on the phone and stayed with me while I finished finding my way back. Of course, that was a long time ago, so I know the area pretty good now. So there you have it. There's my 20-minute walk. Not so bad, but you need to build up to it, and it'll get much better for you. So there you go.